Today, I've got a question that might just make you rethink everything you know about money. Picture this scenario. You are given a choice between taking $3 million in cash right now or starting with just a single penny that doubles in value every 31 days. Which one would you choose? Now, if you have heard of this question before, chances are that you would jump at the $3 million without a second thought, right? I mean, who wouldn't? So picture this. You opt for $3 million upfront while your buddy chooses the humble penny that doubles every 31 days. Fast forward 5 days. You are sitting pretty with the $3 million, but your friend, well, they have got a whopping 16 cent. It seems like an easy win for you, right? But hold on to your hats, because here's where the real magic happens. By day 10, your first penny has grown to $5.12, not too shabby, right? And by day 20, well, they are sitting on $5,243, which might still seem like chump change compared to $3 million. But wait for it. By day 31, while you are still holding on to a $3 million, of course, if you haven't spent any that else, your friend's penny has skyrocketed to over $10 million. That's right, more than triple of what you have. It's a prime example of compound effect in action. Consistency rewarded your friend with a fortune that suppressed even your initial windfall. So, if you're ready to explore the power of compound interest and uncover the secrets of growing your wealth exponentially, then stick around. This video is going to change the way you think about money. And who knows, it might just change your financial future too. So let's dive and discover the magic of compounding. When I say that your stock investing will grow by 10 to 15% every year, then you will understand the magic of compounding. So what does that even mean? In this video, I will show you how compounding works in real life. One biggest problem of compounding is that we simplify it a lot. In this video, I will explain to you how does compounding even work and what is the basic form of compounding, which we see in real life. Because the stock market is always fluctuating and all the time, then what is it that it is being compounded? Here's the deal with compounding. Say you put $100 into an investment in the first year. If it grows by 10%, you would end up with $110. Not bad. But here's where it gets interesting. In the second year, you don't just earn 10% on the initial $100. You earn it on the new total of $110. So instead of just adding $10 to the original investment, you would actually gain $11, bringing your total to $121. Now, here's where the magic kicks in. In the third year, you would actually earn 10% on that $121, not just on your initial $100. That means you would make $12.1 this time around, adding up to $133.1. See the pattern here? Each year, you're not only earning interest on your initial investments, but also on the interest you have already earned. It's like a snowball effect, growing bigger and bigger, faster and faster as it rolls down the hill. So, while the growth rate stays the same, your actual earning increase year by year. It's like a money making machine that keeps churning out more and more cash over time. Now, if you're a visual person like me, we can break down this in an Excel sheet to see how your investment grows year by year. So we started with $100 and we got a growth rate of 10% every year, and we will do this for the next 10 years. So in the first year, how much did you grow? We got a growth rate of $10. So now we started our next year with these $110. And now when we do this for the next 10 years, then we will get this. This is the magic of compounding. So let me round off these first. So let's see what happened. Your income has grown by only 10%, but you started with a base of $100. Next year, your base was $110. So in the first year, you got a growth rate of $10, then $11, then $12, then $13, then $14, then $16, then $17, then $19, then $21, and then $23. All this way. Now let me take it to the next 40 years. Let us plot a line curve for this to see what happens. And now we take it to the next 200 years. And let us plot a line curve for this too and see what happens. Now I want you to see the difference between these two charts. When I plotted the curve for the 40 years, then this curve went like an exponential curve. Curve that goes like this is called an exponential curve, and we are able to see that it is growing very nicely year by year and it reached till there. If I do the same thing with the 200 years curve, then for the longest time, approximately 145 to 153, you can see that it feels like it's not growing only. It's absolutely flat because it takes off in a super speed. This is the reason our mind doesn't understand compounding completely. Because if you are in your 20s and I told you to consistently invest $500 to $1,000 or whatever is possible every month, you will not experience the power of compounding for a really long time. Because for the first 10 years, it is going to be a flat curve. You will be growing every month, but it will feel flat. This is the reason our mind doesn't completely understand compound. Because if you are in your 20s and I told you to consistently invest $500 to $1,000 or whatever is possible every month, you will not experience the power of compounding for a really long time. Because for the first 10 years, it is going to be a flat curve. You will be growing every month, but it will feel flat. Only after you spend 15 to 20 years, you will see a big jump that will blow your mind. Why? And this is the second important part of compounding, and that is that your growth rate doesn't depend on your base. However big your base may be, your growth rate will be the same. What does this mean? You bought a stock for $100 on the first day and you got 10% in the end of the year. So you earn $10. But if you buy those same stocks in large amount, then your growth rate will be the same. In our case, 10%. It will not depend on the number of stocks you buy. Means if you got 10% growth on your stocks worth $100,000, then you will get $10,000 and this thing will keep growing. Now, this seems theoretical, and you may think what happens in real life. This is why I want to show you actual data, because the thing I told you is basically theory, but in real life, it's a hugely different experience with the same results. So let's see. So friends, you can see a little intimidating Excel sheet on the screen. But the most important Excel sheet, you need to understand compounding. These are the returns of a stock month on month from the year 2000 to the year 2020. I took this example because I want to show you how it works. What you will see is different colors. They are color coded by months. The months that gave good returns are green, and the ones that gave very bad returns are purplish. For example, in year 2000, if you would have invested in January, then you would have got a growth rate of 4.44%. In February, you would have got a growth rate of 7.02%, but it would have gone down by 7.64% in March, then further gone down by 7.98% in April, and then gone down in May, up in June, down in July, up in August, down in September, down in October, up in November, and a little bit down in December. What's basically happening here? But this is how the actual world behaves. It is never a straight line. The beautiful chart that I have shown you is not the real life. Real life is very, very different, which I will plot and show you how it works despite that there is compounding. So this is the annual returns, means if you would have invested at the start of the year, then how much return would you have got at the end of the year? But how this actually works in real life. So we will start with an example. I have plotted this. Suppose we have invested $10,000 at the start of January, then we would have got $10,702 at February, then $9,884 on March, $9,096 in April, $8,926 in May, $9,515 in June, and so on. Then at January of the next year, we would have got $8,870. And then when we look at the annual returns, it's minus 14%, minus 16%, 3.25%, 71.9% returns in a single year. 10.68%, 36%, 39%, 54%. and a downfall of 52% the next year, then again 75%, and so on. So you will see how this works. The $10,000 that you would have invested in January 2000 would have become 92,664 by the end of December 2020. The way people sell you compounding is that you invested $10,000 20 years ago and now it has become $92,664. So, how much is the CAGR, compounded annual growth rate? And when you do that calculation, the calculation is basically your resultant amount, which is 92,664, divided by the actual amount, which is $10,000 to the power 1, divided by the number of years, which is 20 for our case, minus 1 because we are finding percentage, which comes to 11.78%. This means that somebody is simplifying it and telling you that you either understand that your $10,000 will at the end of the year be sometimes 8,171, 6,847, 7,070, 12,153, 13,452, 18,341, and so on, or you can understand that these $10,000 will grow by 11.78% every year comfortably. That is what is the lie or the oversimplification of compound interest. To demonstrate the correct method, we begin with $10,000, which would grow to $11,178 by the end of the year. Continuing with this compounding process, we would reach $92,664 by the end of 2020. So let me plot the curves for these two and show you the difference between theory and real life, in which one curve is very smooth and is always growing, and another curve that is very choppy but ultimately reaches the same point. Many people may say, what's the difference between these two? In the end, I'm getting the same results. For those individuals, I would like to point out the issue. When the market starts to fall, most people can't bear their hard earned money decreasing. They withdraw their money from the market to keep it safe. However, they often end up spending that money carelessly. Alternatively, when the market rises again, they miss their chance to cover their losses and make a profit. Then they lose money and claim that stock market is a gamble. But when you understand the magic of compounding, you realize that dealing with this uncertainty is the key. That's why I repeatedly emphasize, don't expect a smooth curve like this. Don't assume that if you invest your money in the stock market, it will keep growing the same way every year. Or think that because I assumed in the Excel sheet that the annual return will be 12%, it will indeed be like this. And you will just have to keep investing in it. As Warren Buffett once said, the stock market is designed to transfer money from the impatient to the patient. Thank you for watching. Before you subscribe, take a moment to browse through our channel, watch a few videos, and if you want to learn more about life other great investments, and find yourself coming back for more, then feel free to join our growing community.